Hello, I'm Donald Leggett and welcome to our latest London Southeast CEO interview. We're joined today by Helge Hammer, CEO at AIM-listed Longboat Energy. The former Faroe team are busy creating a full-cycle North Sea energy company. And today's news is that Longboat have raised 35 million pounds, that is, pounds sterling, to purchase a unique multi-well drilling opportunity in the Norwegian section of the North Sea. Welcome, Helge. It's great to have you back, and you certainly haven't disappointed with these multiple acquisitions.
Thank you. Thanks. It's great to be back. Great to have announced our first deal and successful financing.
Sure, great to have such a big story to be able to get out and about and talk about.
Yes.
So you've been at this since late 2019. Talk us through the portfolio of 7 exploration wells to be drilled. And as a team, why did you decide that these assets, out of all the assets that you could have purchased in the North Sea, why did these assets give you the best risk-reward potential?
Yes, indeed. It's been a while. It's back at the end of 2019. We were very busy with 2 production acquisitions. And when the pandemic hit us and the oil price crashed, these were put on hold by the sellers. We've kind of continued to work long and hard to find the best possible deals to get started with Longboat. When the oil price came back up again, there were production acquisitions. We looked at them. We participated in some auctions unsuccessfully. Then we started to look at exploration. Nobody were looking at exploration. And at the same time, in Norway, exploration results were phenomenally good. I mean, you had like 50% success rates. And we saw there was a unique opportunity there to build a multi-well, high-quality program. We had what is needed. We had all the skills. We had the ex-Faroe core members who could screen this opportunity. And we managed to build this program, which is all near-term wells, 7 near-term wells, a really good combination of some low-risk wells with some really big upsides. So we're very excited about this. And we're still going to build a full-cycle E&P company. We're still going to get production. And we believe this is an excellent first step, actually.
Excellent. You got so much into that first answer there, Helge. Okay, I understand it's so much better now. You've managed to successfully raise 35 million pounds in a placing and have negotiated a further 52 million pound loan facility. So is this mainly institutional money that's coming into Longboat?
Yes, that's correct. It is. Actually, when we listed back in late 2019, we were fortunate enough to get very many of the same shareholders who backed Faroe. Remember, Faroe Petroleum was sold for $900 million. Great to see that almost all of these shareholders participated in this race as well. And we also attracted a lot of new investors, also good institutional names.
So those institutions really believe.
Delighted by that strong support, actually.
They believe in you as a team, yeah?
Yes, clearly. So that's fantastic, yeah.
The portfolio appears to be predominantly gas focused. So is that because you see gas as a more sustainable energy source?
Yeah, they are very carefully selected, these 7 wells, so, and indeed, being gas, we value as a big positive. We believe gas plays an important role in the future. They are also all of them kind of near field target, near infrastructure. So that means they can be developed and hooked into existing platforms and then deliver reduction in emissions per energy unit produced. So they are good from an environmental point of view. So with Longboat, we have an ambition to be an active player in energy transition. And we commit to a net zero target as well. And we believe this is a really good first deal from that point of view. Being in Norway is actually very positive. Norway is very forward-leaning when it comes to ESG. And they're already one of the lowest in the world in terms of low CO2 per barrel produced. So with this deal, it also puts us in a very good position to deliver on ESG targets.
So why has ESG become so prominent? Why is ESG, everyone talks in the oil and gas industry, they all talk ESG now. So why is ESG so important?
That's on top of the world agenda, I guess. It is important. It's important for all of us. I mean, we need to be responsible and deliver energy and value in a responsible way.
Okay, so tell us more about the operators on the 3 farm ends and what degree of risk is associated with these 7 drilling wells that you purchased.
No, they are. I mean, these wells are all being drilled by top tier operators. Equinor is operator of 5 of them. One is operated by Aker BP, and the last one by Vår Energi. Vår Energi is owned 70% by Eni, so it's basically the old Eni team. They're all independent targets, so they're like seven independent wells. So in different locations, different place, but all in areas and in geology that we worked very actively with Faroe. So we know them. We picked stuff that we have worked on for years and we know very well.
And these are all highly experienced operators, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. They are very, very active, big operators in Norway. And
successful as well.
Very successful, yes. And Norway has, as I said, delivered fantastic the last couple of years. We believe it's due to quality acreage still being available, and then huge improvements in seismic. You have this long offset seismic data that allows imaging of hydrocarbon filled reservoirs. And that's why some of these are low risk. Low risk means they're like 40-50% chance of success, which is a really high chance of success for an exploration target. But it means that with a 7 well program, the chances of delivering some discoveries are really good.
And then you can quickly move to appraisal and beyond, presumably.
Absolutely, and the beyond for us is very much commercialization. It's swapping discoveries into production, just like we did with Faroe. So it's very much using these as trading chips to build a full cycle E&P company.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. The purchases have been negotiated with 3 different sellers, as we've just discussed. So why did they choose to sell, which I think is a very valid question? And secondly, why have most of them opted to keep working with Longboat?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and the biggest deal here is with Equinor. And as we just talked about, Equinor has also a very green agenda. They have strong ambitions also in investing in renewable energy. And I think for Equinor, this is a very small deal, but they send a message about capital allocation. So this is a capital allocation issue for them. It's not portfolio rationalization. So that's why I think for them it's a positive signal to reduce some of their equities, but they remain there because they're still valid and good targets.
So in other words, you're helping them cover their costs on these exploration drills.
That's right. And so that's the main deal. So that's Equinor, and then we have Spirit, a deal with Spirit. That was a really good target where Equinor were only willing to give us 5%, and we thought that was too little. We wanted more equity, so we managed to do a deal with Spirit. And the last one is another really high quality. We've been speaking to Idemitsu, the Japanese, for a long time about alternative deals, and we managed to do a deal with them on that one. So it's a lot to kind of get 3 deals done at the same time, but it worked out.
I'm sure you've been incredibly busy, Helge. I can't even imagine how busy you guys have been. So overall, the pre-tax purchase price is a whopping $35 million, but it becomes much less after the Norwegian tax refund system kicks in. It's probably news to our investors. So tell us a little bit more about how the Norwegian tax refund system actually works.
Yeah. No, we actually pay less than $8 million in consideration, which corresponds to something like 7 cents per prospective barrel. So we think that's a very attractive price. That the remaining up to 35 is actually a tax refund. So Norway has a very attractive exploration regime where the tax part of the spend is refunded by the state.
But you get that upfront, so you pay 35 million, you get an instant tax refund on your purchase.
Yeah, yeah, this year it's an instant refund. Next year, but that's a COVID. That's kind of a COVID thing.
Oh, it's a COVID special.
Temporary thing. Next year you get it the year after. But we put in place this exploration finance facility with SR Bank and ING, where that actually provides the bridge finance. So that's like bridge between incurring the exploration spend and getting the tax refund.
And
so
how expensive has your bridge financing been? Is that fairly reasonable?
It's low cost. It's a very low cost finance because it's secured against the Norwegian tax refund.
It's all very clever, I have to say. What's the time frame for the drilling program, and to what extent is it fully funded?
It is fully funded. So with the equity and the EFF, as we call it, exploration finance facility, we're fully funded for the program. I think depending on where they come in on budget or some cost overruns, I mean, we may have capacity to drill an appraisal well as well. But we are fully funded for these wells. I mean, the exciting thing is they're all near term. So the first well will spud in Q3. Could be late August, early September. And then we have 3 more coming. So there are 4 wells before the end of the year. So it'd be a really exciting second half of the year.
We've already talked about the fact that you were bidding for producing assets, didn't win in the auction, but you're still interested in the future. So tell us what that future looks like. What are the producing assets you might be looking at in the future?
Yeah. No, I mean, when this year started, there were some auctions and we participated. We feel that, very full prices were paid. We will continue. So we were unsuccessful in those auctions. On a selective basis, we will continue to participate in these. But I mean, we have experience and we have the expertise in valuing these type of assets. We have a wide network of relationships across the industry. And with this first transaction, we also have some high quality exploration assets which we can leverage. So this will allow us to go into bilateral discussions with regarding packages which include production. So that's definitely the next stage for us is a deal, and we would focus a lot on kind of getting a production, getting cash flow. So nothing has changed as such, but we don't want to pay $1 for $1. I mean, we're looking for deals that have substantial upside, and so it has to be on the right terms.
Makes a lot of sense. I know it would have been a tough book build process because market conditions are pretty tricky at the moment. The last couple of months haven't been great. Was it simply not practical to include retail investors in a primary bid type offer?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a correct way to put it. I mean, it was pretty complicated to put 3 transactions together and then finance it as well. So I mean, that was complicated enough. So unfortunately, it wasn't possible to add some sort of open offer this time.
But you're still interested in the retail investor?
Definitely. I mean, we are always interested. Yes, definitely. We would like to have retail investors, and I hope we can attract them. I hope they like our story and believe in this as strongly as we do ourselves.
Well, I'm prejudging, but I'm pretty darn sure they're going to like your story. My last question, my final question: what will the business look like in 2 years' time? Will you have acquired more assets? We've kind of nodded to that. And will the drill bit be kind to you, do you think? Will you be successful?
Yes. Yeah. Well, in 2 years, I mean, the goal would be to be a full cycle E&P company with a healthy cash flow, a few producing fields, some 2P reserves. I think we will have had exploration success. We'll have a few discoveries. We will be continuing to drill and doing deal, grow the business further. So we'll be on our way to building a medium-sized oil company.
So on your way, okay. And will you have an equally successful share price, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think the share price, there are short-term movements, but as long as we do the right things, in the medium term, real value is going to come through.
Fantastic. I'm so grateful to you for joining us today, Helge. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Many, many thanks. That was Helge Hammer, CEO at Longboat Energy. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. To see more interviews like this one, please subscribe to the London Southeast YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look for London Southeast. You can also follow us on Twitter at London Southeast. And as ever, thanks for watching. And do look out for future interviews like this one. Thank you so much.